Okay, good morning. Hopefully, I'm not sure this is working. Let me know if it is. I think it is. Presenter invite. Share screen, entire screen. And here we are. Good morning. Hey, Jason, is this working? I can't tell from my end for some reason. I guess I see somebody saying it's working. You can see and hear me? Then we're good to go. Okay, so a quick, well, let's start with what happened yesterday. I thought yesterday was kind of interesting, to say the least. And so let me just isolate yesterday without having all that stuff from today. Um, so after closing near an all-time high again, I think we had two all-time highs in a row, Monday and Tuesday, Friday and Monday. And then Tuesday, we kind of chopped around. And then Wednesday, gap down, a little bit of a bounce on CPI numbers. Tried to, I think on some kind of numbers. Couldn't hold the level, and down we went. Now, without going through all the gamma levels were yesterday, let's take a quick look at volatility. There we go. So what happened yesterday? Iran war, fear and whatever else, Supreme Court decision that never came, that the market was anticipating about the tariffs, maybe more fallout from the Powell indictment thing, a whole bunch of other stuff got the market jittery and nervous. Now, I had mentioned a little bit Friday, Monday, Tuesday, my weekend note, that when we look inside the VIX complex, the VIX wings, the 10 delta puts were being bought, but there really wasn't much hedging. Some calls were being sold a little bit. Well, that started to change, and they started buying more like the 20 delta puts or the near the money options started to get bid up. VIX spiked near 18. And so as VIX was spiking, of course, we were dropping. We broke through various levels. We had market makers short gamma below us. And we kind of pretty much tagged the 20 DMA. This is my daily chart with expected moves. We pretty much, look at that. Let me make it even bigger so folks can see it. We pretty much undercut, tagged the 20-day moving average, the bottom of the expected move measured from last Friday to this Friday, all that good stuff, and then we bounced. Okay. Now, what happened when we bounced around 3 o'clock? Okay, we started pulling back, but we're still up at 17. We're still pretty elevated. And then at around 3 o'clock, I actually saw a news thing about oil prices going down. Oil was spiking because fear that the Hormuz Straits or whatever will be closed down if there's like a big thing in Iran. But believe me, whatever does happen, I'm pretty sure that they're going to make sure the Straits of Hormuz are unclosed, no matter what. Trump wants inflation low, doesn't want oil prices to spike. That's going to be a priority, according to me. You can have your own opinion, according to me. I noticed that news story. I took a quick look. I saw VIX dropping like a rock. And then we started to kind of reclaim 6,900. We were kind of in this little charm zone. Let me see if I can show it here. We were, because this still has yesterday's stuff on it. Unusual wells. We kind of, well now this isn't going to be accurate. We kind of reclaimed the bottom of the expected move, and then we kind of started going up through the levels. Volatility contracted, so the delta exposure of market makers hedging had to be readjusted. All that, and we closed within the expected move like nothing happened. Well, not like nothing happened. So let's go to, give me 1 second. I've been doing this lately. Do you guys like this? Is this a good feature, so to speak, when we look at the note together? Okay, so my cute little thing, they stabbed it with their stealing knives and they just can't kill the beast. So now yesterday, the RSP was up 0.5%. IWM was up. The diamonds were barely down a little bit. Now they have some tech names in them. All that stuff was going on. However, breadth in the S&P 500 was like 390 gainers to whatever, 100 and something, or whatever it was, I don't remember exactly, decliners. So the AD line was positive. RSP, let's see, can we make it even larger? Okay, yeah, that's even better. RSP was green. The MAG 7 turned to lag 7. They were down 1.3%. And now it's just funny. I had a chuckle to myself. So X number of weeks or months ago, everyone was complaining that the market is going up because of the MAG 7. Now that the MAG 7 isn't participating, they're complaining about that too. Oh, the MAG 7. Okay, so anyway, trust me, news of my death has been greatly exaggerated, saying the MAG 7 going into earnings season after a pullback. Just saying. How many times do we have to see this movie before, like, okay, we know that the monster's going to jump out of the closet, and that the guy and the girl are going to get away until the next time the monster jumps out of the closet? Okay. So from a old school, this is all old school TA stuff. We pull back to we check back to the 20-day moving average after this kind of big move. Regular kind of stuff that typically works. We have the QILD roll today. For those of you that aren't familiar with that, QILD is Yield Max family of funds, and they sell a lot of basically a covered call ETF, and they sell it on the RUT, on the Russell, on the S&P 500, which is the YLD, and QILD is on the Qs. However, for whatever reason, in their infinite wisdom, they only buy back the Q portion, the NDX options that they sold, and they buy them back today, Thursday, then they sell again tomorrow, Friday. That tends to have a supportive feature. In theory, some say it's not supposed to, but statistically, if you do look backs, there's been there's been studies. It's mentioned in institutional research notes from time to time. It's a thing. It's a thing. Doesn't mean it has to happen 100% of the time, though, but it's a thing. Okay. So I wanted to bring this up because if my memory serves me well, okay, yeah. So I kind of put in where the level was so I wouldn't forget it. I put it at 20 wide at a $2 credit, so I knew I wouldn't get filled, and that way I have it here. And so where is it? There it is. Okay, so we need to look at open interest. Yeah, that's a trick I have to use for myself. I'm going to forget it. I'm going to write it down somewhere. I'm going to forget where it is. But if I stick it here, it's going to stay. If they wanted to give me this 20 wide spread, this 25 wide spread for $2, I would take it. Anyway, so here's where they are. 652, 25,250, nice round number, 76 delta. So there's still deltas there to go to a 1 delta. That should have an effect. That should be somewhat positive. And so I typically watch, I put out on Twitter or in my Discord or wherever when the roll starts. They're supposed to try to buy as close to VWAP as they can, or TWAP, maybe time weighted, whatever, and do the same thing tomorrow when they do the selling. So that's going on today in the background. That's lurking. Okay, back to the videotape. Earnings, we have jobless claims. I guess they liked it because no, wait, because we've got a positive reaction. We had this reaction zone up here at 260, which I'll show you in a minute. Fed Goolsby, I saw a headline, but I didn't read it. Whatever, all the Fed guys are out babbling, so that's just adding stuff to it. So pre-market TSM, Taiwan Semi, CapEx guidance, read through, everybody was up. LRCX, AMAT, KLAC, ASML. Anecdotally, the last week or so, every time AMAT has been down 1 or 2%, I buy a couple of shares. I've been just nibbling on shares. Same thing with ARM, which hasn't participated yet. I didn't look, ARM. So anyway, BlackRock bucked the trend in the banks, and so BlackRock was up. Now, I don't know how they're going to parse it, because BlackRock does different stuff than a bank. Basically ETF and money manager. And so as their assets grow, as the S&P 500 goes up, the assets under management grow. And so it's a bigger pie. I don't know. I had some shares a while back, a trading position. I just got rid of it. JBHT transport, maybe a read through on the economy. Okay, levels and lines. Okay, so when I wrote this up, we were at 59.50. We have the all-time high. I knew how to do a split screen. I would do that, but I'm not that fancy. We have the intraday all-time high up here around 68.85. We have the closing all-time high right around here, and right where we are. And now let's look at some of the zones. Let's look at what this analysis. Okay, so the straddle at that time in the morning was 69.20 bottom, 69.80 top. It might have shifted around a little bit. I wouldn't, 69.85 new all-time high. Do we take it out today? Could be. The Friday expected move roughly gives us the 6,900, 7,000, the playground we've been in for the last 5 days. Next Friday, only 95 points. I might look to front run a little something for next Friday. Okay, so gamma globs of interest. Let's take a look. Yeah, and my companions are both otherwise occupied this morning, and so you've got me. All right, let's see where here it is. Let's just refresh it, even though I'm sure it doesn't need refreshing. Okay, and so here we go. Let's do this exercise together. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. We're going to do something together. So what we're going to do is we're going to think out loud as a group. Break down by strike. Now let's see what we can see right here, right now. Okay, so we're at 69, 65-ish, right? So let's map out our new zones. Where are we right now? So we have this area up on top near the all-time high. What is it, 75, 80-ish, we'll call it. So kind of mean reverting, pushes down from there. If it goes too far, it gets pulled up. We got this little sticky thing over here. So this area where we are now is kind of a little sticky. We got negative gamma magnet here, which we kind of have crossed. So we're in here. We have this other little zone right here. With 45, 50, kind of right around the round number thing. If below here, 30, which I made the bottom of the chop zone, then we have this here, we have this magnet up here, this ladder. But this ladder is kind of in the middle of this. So it's kind of a mess in here. And then we have all this stuff down here. I've been hearing crackling sounds from the living room, I guess you call it. But I don't know what it is. I kind of look. It's like coming from behind the couch. So this is we got that. Or maybe it's the heat. I have no idea what it is. So up for here. It gets pulled back down a little bit. And so this whole 6945, this whole area here is sticky over 80, 85. We kind of get stuck in this morass. And so it's broadly positive gamma with this and with 6960. So kind of that frames what's going on within the expected move. Let's take a screenshot. Let me just put it somewhere, and I'll put it, because this is like an update. So I'll just put it in here in my Discord. You guys can look under the hood. We go into Doc's commentaries. And you see, so the picture has changed a little bit since yesterday. Some of the positive gamma has cleared out, negative gamma has cleared out. They faked you out the other day, but they're not going to fake you out again today. Okay, and so here it is here in the Discord. Okay. All right, let's get back to okay, so we kind of know what's going on. So we know where the chop zones are already. We just kind of talked about it. So let's go back to volatility again. What the hell? There's something crackling and rattling around in the living room, and I have no idea what it could be. I'm going to go check when we're done. kind of look behind the count, whatever. Okay. So sticky strike. Okay, so VIX popped and then came back, but let's take a look at the how, what really happened under the hood. Okay. The sticky strike did the heavy lifting, quote unquote. Most of the move was because of the sticky strike. And what that means is as we IV slid higher as we dropped down along the chain. We moved into a pricier neighborhood for the puts. Everything slid down. So that's what kind of pushed it up. There wasn't a parallel shift, so they weren't bidding up parallel deltas lower. There wasn't a parallel shift. It was just a whole surface shifted because we went down, more mechanical than anything else. The VIX 9-day was much higher than the VIX on a percentage basis, and I'm not sure if I put it out on Twitter or on Substack. I put out notes about it. We were talking about it in the room, indicating that whatever is going on is short-term concern based on Iran, all that, whatever, like the near-term stuff is, but not really long-term concern about the market. So the VIX 9-day was greater than the VIX. The VVIX was up, but percentage-wise about the same as the VIX, and the VVIX is supposed to be up more than the same percentage point, number if it's across the chain. So this confirms this. The parallel shift didn't happen, no panic big. So the macro tape remains twitchy, one headline, and if we can talk the VIX again, et cetera, et cetera. And so here's the breakdown. Now, it's also interesting, downside convexity actually got a little cheaper. They weren't, the out of the money puts, the 10 delta puts got a little cheaper. Remember I mentioned on last couple of days that they were buying the 10 delta puts, and the 10 delta 25 delta ratio was kind of on the high end. Now it's coming back into the normal end. And look at this, call skew 0.12. Oh, they like nibbled on some calls while they were at it. So, and that's what happened in the VIX. And that's basically it. The trading view string. There's my little cheat card. Quick ifs. Above 69.65, stalls at 75 and 85, then 95, 7,000, the round number. If we go below 69.45, look for a bounce near 69.25, yesterday's close. And then if we really go in the crapper for some reason, the 69.15.10 area, and then 68.95, and it's a whole new ballgame. That's it. And so that's the story. There used to be a guy in New York that sold appliances. Jerry something. Well, Jerry Rosenberg, I know Jerry, not Jerry something. Who used to always say, his commercial was, come down to G&E Electronics and you could buy this, and that. He spoke fast. He'd show you union card. The scam or the thing was, it was special only for union workers, although everybody could get in. And actually, I don't know if he was indicted or not. He was buying hot stuff from mob people and selling it cheap. That's what he was doing. And then I think that closed down. He opened up a nightclub. I know his son. His son is a buddy of mine. So anyway, yeah, that's the story, Jerry. You could Google it. Maybe my couch is on fire, Oh, shit, that's what that smoke is. Huh. Go figure. Good to see you, Boomer. And folks, Boomer and I have been threatening to do something together again on whatever, on a YouTube, whatever. Last time I I did my stuff, so to speak, for his subscribers and for his YouTube followers. So he's going to reciprocate and show us his stuff. He did something on the levitation trade or something, kind of a variation of a broken wing Frankenstein. Not exactly what I do, but pretty inventive, pretty cool. And it was on Theta Profits. And yeah, so let's do it. So we'll do it. I'll have my people call your people. Okay. Uh, so that's that. And that's really kind of simple. So what are we going to do now? I mean, see, I don't like a setup like this. I like to be in the middle where I could, where I have room to go. Now we're at the top of the range. So what do? Sell calls or try to go long up here and catch that move, maybe for a little while. What we do is sell puts and maybe have a knife catch. How far down do we go? Trades for today? That's what I'm thinking. Trades for today. I don't know. You have any bright ideas, Selena? I'm thinking. I'm thinking myself. Okay, so trades for today. Go to my head. Let's see. I'm willing to take a stab up here at 6705. I mean, it's at 7,005. Knowing that I might even take some fake pain, but I don't think it's happening. I think we got the run up. So I would put one in now and then. Hold on. What happened? I would put one in now and add more on the run up. I put in the wrong one, I guess. There we go. Or you could kind of, if you wanted to do a broken wing fly just for fun, let's set up a broken wing fly, something like that. We want two of these, right? 1, 2, 1, something like that. But that's really not enough credit, so maybe we want to do it a little wider. Something like that. I don't know. This muddies up the cost a little bit, but something like that. On the bottom, I mean, there's juice still down here at 68.85, yesterday's low, 45 cents. I'll take it and be willing to add in case something happens. And that's it for now. Not thinking it'll go over 7,000. No, we might tickle it. Let's take a closer look. That's a good question. That's a good question. Let's take a closer look under the hood. And to do that, we'll look over here. So what do we got here? We got all the sticky positive gamma here. So I can tell you we're not going over 70.25. You might be right because we have 3,000 market makers short, customer long calls here at 7,000. So 7,000 could be in play. I don't think so. We have 75 and 90 to get through. Depends if volatility comes down. Yes, a better move would be to wait and see if the premium goes up and see if we could get a little further. Or if not, no trade. I don't have to attend every night fight that I'm invited to. But let's look another way. Good question. Let's look another way. Kind of just globally here. I mean, there is a world, and we do come into the suppressive, supportive and suppressive, the mean reverting flow here up around this area. There is a world where we can slip up to 10. So I reviewed the uploaded videos from the previous day. Thank you for great educational videos. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words. 6960, kind of where we are now, is sort of where we should end up, all things being equal, with stalling out here at 75, maybe. If we can get over 75, then we can slip into this notch to the downside. See, right now, the area that we're in, if I just zoom in for a second, this area is kind of thin, a little bit of customer long options, just making it potentially a little choppy. Let's kind of zoom in here. And so we start getting a little suppressive over here near 7,000. On second thought, it's probably early to sell the 7,005. I don't think we get there. I also might not want to sit through the fake pain of watching it run up another 10 points before it stalls. So maybe patience on a day like today would be a better strategy. And that's basically it. Let's look at flies. And to look at flies, I like to look at the shape and see where the market gives me a fly structure. So we got one right here at, I don't know, call it something 75 top. But we're already in it. So gun to my head, I might want to do a put fly to come back down towards 60-ish. So let's see. Butterfly, put, go, move the strikes up. We got that 60 as a magnet from below or above. And so we want to $1, it's a little expensive. Now I would give them 50 cents for this if we go up, and maybe be a good play on the way down. So I'll put that in for 50 cents for now. And then on the way up, what do we think? 7,000? So well, we think 7,000 might be a bridge too far, right? We got the Stolly stuff right up here somewhere. $1.35 is a little expensive. $1.25 is also a little expensive. So I'll make them the same deal. I'll give them 50 cents for this. Probably neither of them will fill. Now let's see what this looks like if we shift it up. That's not so bad. 85, 95, 05. Of course, that kills my calls, which we're going to kill anyway. That kills my calls. but that's not bad. That's not bad. It'd have to be quick. Probably wouldn't be holding this to the end of the day. That's not bad. And 70-10 seems like a lot better of a number. If I can get 45 cents for 5 wide, for 15 wide, I'll take it. Hold on, I don't want to step on a position I already have here. I don't want to start selling stuff where I have flies all over the place. Okay, that's basically it. Looks like we're going to new all-time highs again. News of my death has been greatly exaggerated, says the market. And I think that's kind of does it. Any other questions or comments? Vol Trader entered. OMG, he made it. You got
Hey,
any
how are you doing? Yeah, I thought I wouldn't make it.
Yeah. Okay. So we're about to sign off, in a minute or two or three, but we always have time for vol traders. So what do you got for us?
I've been following it throughout the Globex. So they were pointing out 6980, 6975 pre-market. So I think we tag that maybe pre-market, then we dump at the market. But all in all, looks strong. And so yeah, I think they have a shot today to the 7,000 on the SPX. But we need to get like a dump in the open, so better be ready for that.
Okay, yeah, I want to show people this, by the way. So this is from the Mora. I hope you can see it. This is VIX aggregate dealer gamma out 6 months. So it's a big picture. And what we see here, now people have been selling puts in the VIX in this area, down to the 15 area and lower. That's acting kind of, in a way, compressing it from going down much further than like 15, say 14, 15. But the interesting thing, and again, not surprising, we have market makers short gamma, customers long, right around, that's hard to see, it's not that granular, 15, 16, which is kind of where we started moving yesterday. So market makers had to hedge this by buying VX futures, which just kind of muddies the waters a little bit. And then we kind of stalled out incidentally right in here where kind of the acceleration slows. And 20 is the big strike. Everybody on the planet, including Vol Trader, is long 20 calls. That's like that's where the convex move. Everybody is parked there. So I like to sell that. I bought 15, sold 20 in a fly, but that's me.
Based on this chart, we can see that there is a large, exactly, a large hedge at 23.
Right. So 23 is like the other side of flies or ratios or whatever it is, A lot of people do flies and ratios. Yeah, a time contracts at 7,000. Yeah, if we look, let's just look at one more thing. Just a quick, easy way to see this. I want to look at, what do I have on here? Expiry, all, multi. Let me make sure I don't have yesterday in the expiration thing. Okay. And instead of Greeks, let's look at position number. So, and we got to zoom out.
So these are market maker positions or customer?
Yeah, this is market maker positions. So, as noted, 7,000 is the biggest strike on the board. Position number, 60,000, 30,000, whatever the number is. and it's customers long calls and customers short puts. So basically, it's an institutional synthetic long, I guess you could call it,
Yeah.
at 7,000. That's what it is. Just the way the Greeks add up with the puts versus the calls and, you know, the deltas and all that, the way the Greeks set up, it's negative, it's market maker long gamma because of the way the Greeks set up. Do we have a delta version? No, we don't have a delta version. So 7,000, yeah, is market maker positive gamma, but let's not get it twisted. And what's going to be interesting is as we get up there, those calls are approaching a 50 delta, and those puts that are in the money that were sold are approaching a 50 delta. So that creates its own inflection vortex, whatever, to get sucked into.
Yeah, but it
So
will
yeah,
act as resistance.
it will act as resistance, right?
When we first
Yeah,
approach it, yeah, strong
yeah,
resistance actually.
yeah. It's going to be hard to break through that. I'm
Yeah,
not saying we won't, but it's going to be hard to break through that.
they might tag it maybe today. I mean, it looks very stretched into the open, but they can do whatever they want. So you might tag it. So we'll see
Yeah,
after
you
the
might
dump in
tag
the
it
morning. We'll see what happens.
or like the usual 95, 99, 92, get in that zone, you know, that
Yeah.
the usual.
So each one of
almost.
these red bars are basically a velocity booster to the way up.
Yes, yes. Velocity booster to the way up. Well said.
Yeah, and same to the way down.
And same to the way down. Exactly. I always say it's a two-way ladder. It's a two-way ladder.
Well, looks good. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, so it's a fun day. I think in a way it's kind of, I mean, it's not clear to predict how the day is going to end, but it's clear to predict the path as we navigate through the day. We have this ladder here, 60, which was a ladder on the way up, but a potential ladder on the way down. You know, this is like a kind of magnet point here at 60. We have it kind of gets stally up here at 69.90.
Can we sell that 69.80, 7,000?
You can. I mean, I would
No, I
want
mean
to
like
be
a
further,
butterfly, like a butterfly.
like a butterfly.
somewhere
Yeah, I
there.
was looking at that. It's probably a good trade, a tad expensive. A tad expensive. So I got so many butterflies here that I'm going to open up a butterfly garden here. So something like this I was looking at, 80,
Yeah, it's 50
90.
cents. It's not bad.
No, they want $1. I want to give them 50 cents.
Oh, they want $1. Okay.
They want $1, right? Or similar, you know, idea here. So
What about
something.
what about a long 80, short 7,000, and then a long, let's say 15 or 20, like a broken wing?
Oh, broken wing. Okay, and we can look at that too. I have
But one
something
that
like that
has more
here.
convexity.
Yeah. Good place. So a long 80. Oh, so you're going for a wide one?
A long 80, a short 7,000, and then a long, 20, 25,
Hold on.
whatever.
Okay, let's take a look. A long 80, a short 7,000.
Yeah, and make it a broken wing. So 5
Yeah,
points
yeah,
above.
broken wing. So now we're breaking it on top. Let's just
Let's say 25 or 30. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just say 30 for 265.
Well, that's
not
maybe a
bad.
bit risky. We could do 25. It's still very cheap.
Okay. 270, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Or you could bring it in a little bit, figuring we're going to stall. You could play around with it.
Yeah.
What's this? This is 15 by 20. This isn't bad for $1.90. 80, 95. Maybe we get stuck in here. And 70, 15. We're not going past 70, 05. Even if we get up in here, we kind of get stuck in here.
Yeah.
So this isn't bad, a bad bullish trade.
175 bid. 175 bid, we might get that.
Yeah. So something like that, might be a good trade. And remember, what goes up often comes down, and I got this here 65, 55, 45 for whatever I put in 50 cents. Well,
How
let's
much
take
did
a
you pay
look.
for that?
I'm offering them 50 cents.
50 cents. That's
Yeah.
nice.
I always offer 50 cents, whether they take it or not, it's up to them. But we have the way down trade towards 60. And so, you want to do 70, 60, 50, stall at 50. Whoops. For $1.30, that's not a bad trade, something like that. It's probably not bad for $1.30 either. And so that's what we're looking at. And we're looking at that, we're picking those levels, and then we're going to wrap it up because of the profile, because of the 60 over here, because of the market maker long stalling stuff up here. That's how I like to construct my flies, or if it's a debit spread or whatever the trade is, my, and Val Trader, who used to do this for a living, now he does it for a living as a private person, not as a market maker or asset manager, whatever exactly he was.
Oh, the idea that the way you set them up, where you basically sell the long gamma market maker, that's the right way to do it, because you increase the odds that A, market goes to your strike, but B, it doesn't move too much from that strike.
Right. And even if it moves from it, we get enough stalling there that we can get out, that we can make an adjustment. We stall as we approach it. It gives you enough time to play with it.
Yeah.
Is the idea. Okay, everybody, 9:18. Time for me to call it a
Okay. See you
day.
tomorrow.
See
Bye
ya.
bye.
Yep. Thanks for stopping in, Val.
Bye bye.
Thanks for your participation. Thank you, Selena, and thank you as an educator to trader. I don't think we're going to go above 7,000. I'm probably going to wait on that trade. Thanks.